8 morning habits that can add 10 years to your life after 65, even doctors are speechless. What if I told you the first hour after you wake up could literally add a decade to your life? I know it sounds incredible, but groundbreaking research from the National Institute on Aging has revealed that specific morning habits can dramatically extend your lifespan, especially after age 65. The most shocking part, even many doctors aren't aware of just how powerful these simple morning routines can be. Imagine waking up each day with more energy, sharper thinking, stronger immunity, and a body that feels years younger than your actual age, not just for a day or two, but consistently, week after week, year after year. This isn't fantasy, it's what's possible when you harness the extraordinary power of your body's natural morning rhythms. Now, you might be thinking, I'm already in my 60s, 70s, or beyond. Isn't it too late to make a difference? That's exactly what Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Colorado, thought. She'd resigned herself to declining health, daily medications, and the inevitable downward spiral of aging. I figured this was just what getting older meant, she told me. But after implementing just 4 of the morning habits I'm about to share with you, she experienced what her doctor called a medical miracle. Within just 90 days, Margaret's blood pressure normalized, her chronic inflammation markers dropped by 60%, her brain fog cleared, and she regained energy she hadn't felt in 15 years. Her doctor was so stunned by her transformation that he's now recommending these same morning habits to all his senior patients. What Margaret discovered, and what medical research is finally catching up to, is that the first 60 minutes after waking represent a critical, golden hour for your body. During this time, your cells are uniquely receptive to signals that can either accelerate aging or activate powerful longevity pathways. The choices you make in this crucial window quite literally program your body for either decline or renewal. The morning habits I'm about to share work by leveraging your body's natural circadian rhythm, your internal biological clock, to optimize hormone production, reduce inflammation, enhance cellular repair, and even activate longevity genes that can add healthy, vibrant years to your life. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to transform your mornings into a powerful longevity ritual that can potentially add a decade of healthy, active years to your life. These aren't complicated medical procedures or expensive treatments, they're simple, science-backed habits that anyone can implement, regardless of current age or health status. If you're over 65 and want to not just extend your lifespan but dramatically improve your health span, the years you spend in good health, then pay close attention. These 8 morning habits could completely transform your golden years, just as they have for thousands of seniors who've already put them into practice. Let's dive into these life-changing morning habits that even doctors are amazed by. Habit No. 1. The 16-minute longevity stretch that activates youth hormones. The very first thing you do when you open your eyes in the morning could determine whether your body activates aging pathways or youth-preserving ones. Most seniors make a critical mistake. They immediately reach for their phone or jump out of bed, triggering a cortisol spike that accelerates aging and inflammation. Instead, what leading longevity researchers like Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn, Nobel Prize winner for her work on telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA that determine how quickly you age, recommend is something completely different, a specific 16-minute gentle stretching sequence that activates what scientists call youth hormones. This isn't typical exercise or yoga. It's a sequence specifically designed for the aging body that targets what geriatric specialists call longevity pressure points, areas where tension accumulates and accelerates the aging process. By releasing these specific points first thing in the morning, you trigger the release of human growth hormone, which typically declines drastically after 65. Dr. Richard Hansen at the Mayo Clinic Center for Aging explains, when we tested seniors who performed this specific morning stretching sequence, we measured up to a 43% increase in human growth hormone release compared to those who didn't stretch. This hormone is directly responsible for tissue repair, muscle maintenance, and skin elasticity, all elements that typically deteriorate with age. Consider James, a 78-year-old former construction worker whose chronic back pain had left him reliant on daily pain medication for over a decade. Every morning was a struggle just to get out of bed, he recalls. After learning this specific stretching sequence and practicing it faithfully each morning for just 3 weeks, something remarkable happened. I suddenly realized I'd gone 3 days without reaching for my pain pills. My doctor couldn't believe it was just from morning stretching. The key is consistency and proper technique. This isn't about pushing your limits, it's gentle, intentional movement focused on specific areas that hold the most tension as we age: the neck, shoulders, lower back, and hip flexors. Each area gets just 4 minutes of attention, making the entire sequence exactly 16 minutes. But here's the critical part: this must be done before anything else in your morning. Not after breakfast, not after checking emails or the news, The hormonal benefits decrease by up to 80% if you wait even 30 minutes after waking. This is your body's prime time for setting its metabolic patterns for the entire day. Start by sitting at the edge of your bed. Take 3 deep breaths, then begin with gentle neck rolls, followed by shoulder circles, seated spinal twists, and finally, lying hip openers. The specific sequence matters because it follows the body's natural energy pathways and progressively awakens your systems without shock. Don't worry if you're not flexible. This isn't about touching your toes or performing gymnastics. It's about gentle movement that signals to your body that it's time to activate regenerative processes rather than degradative ones. The results compound over time, strengthening your joints, improving balance, and significantly reducing fall risk, one of the biggest threats to longevity after 65. Habit No. 2. The morning hydration formula most seniors get completely wrong. Did you know that simply changing how you hydrate in the morning could dramatically improve your brain function, energy levels, and even reduce your risk of silent killers like stroke and heart attack? Most seniors make a devastating mistake with their morning fluids, and it's setting them up for accelerated aging. Here's the shocking truth: that morning coffee or orange juice that feels like it's waking you up. Medical research now shows it's actually triggering inflammatory cascades that can damage your blood vessels, cloud your thinking, and even contribute to dangerous blood pressure spikes during the critical morning hours. Dr. Melissa Chen, a leading hydration researcher at Johns Hopkins Medicine, explains, when seniors drink caffeine or acidic juices first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, it creates what we call a cardiovascular stress response. Blood pressure rises more sharply, blood vessels constrict, and inflammatory markers increase, all factors that contribute to the significantly higher rate of heart attacks and strokes that occur between 6 and 10 a.m. Instead, cutting-edge research from the National Institute on Aging has revealed a specific morning hydration formula that can reduce this cardiovascular risk by up to 37% while simultaneously improving cognitive function and metabolic health. The formula is remarkably simple: 12 ounces of room temperature water with 1/8 teaspoon of high-quality salt, preferably Himalayan or sea salt, and a squeeze of fresh lemon. This precise combination creates what scientists call an isotonic solution that your cells can absorb immediately, without the digestive stress of cold water. The morning salt component is particularly crucial for seniors. As we age, our body's sodium-potassium pumps, which power every cell in your body, become less efficient. This small amount of mineral-rich salt in the morning helps restore optimal cellular energy production. The lemon adds vitamin C directly to your bloodstream when it needs it most, and helps alkalize your system after the natural acidity that builds during sleep. Dorothy, age 83, experienced what many would consider miraculous results from this simple change. "I'd been struggling with morning fatigue and brain fog for years," she shares. "My doctor had run every test but couldn't find anything specifically wrong. He just said it was normal aging." After 2 weeks of starting her day with this hydration formula, Dorothy noticed she could remember names again and had energy lasting well into the afternoon. "My doctor tested my inflammatory markers again and was speechless at the improvement." The timing is crucial. This must be consumed within 10 minutes of waking, before anything else. Why? Your body has been fasting all night, and the morning is when your cells are most receptive to hydration. Wait too long, and you miss this critical window for cellular optimization. If you typically can't stand drinking water in the morning, start with just 4 ounces and work your way up. Your body will quickly adapt as it experiences the benefits. Many seniors report that after just a week, they actually crave this morning ritual because of how much better they feel throughout the day. Habit No. 3. The 7-minute morning light ritual that resets your brain's aging clock. This next habit might be the simplest yet most profound on our list. It requires no special equipment, costs absolutely nothing, and takes just 7 minutes, but its impact on your longevity and brain health is nothing short of remarkable. Groundbreaking research from Stanford University's Center on Longevity has discovered that morning light exposure directly influences how quickly your brain ages. Most seniors are unknowingly accelerating their cognitive decline by staying indoors during the crucial morning hours when specific light wavelengths can literally reset your brain's aging clock. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist specializing in brain aging and circadian biology, explains the science. When morning sunlight enters your eyes within the first hour after waking, it triggers a cascade of neurohormonal signals that regulate everything from mood and cognitive function to metabolism and immune response. For people over 65, this morning light signal becomes even more crucial because the photoreceptors in their eyes have become less sensitive, requiring more direct light to achieve the same beneficial effects. Here's exactly what to do. Within 30 minutes of waking up, go outside or position yourself near a window without glass filtering the light. Open the window if possible. Spend just 7 minutes allowing natural daylight to reach your eyes. No sunglasses, no contacts, no glasses if possible. You don't need to look directly at the sun. The ambient morning light is what matters. The results of this simple habit can be profound. In a landmark study following seniors over age 70 for 5 years, those who consistently practiced morning light exposure showed 64% slower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who didn't. Even more remarkably, they maintained better sleep quality, had more stable moods, and showed significantly lower rates of depression, a major risk factor for dementia and shortened lifespan after 65. Robert, a 76-year-old former accountant, had been struggling with what his doctor called age-appropriate memory decline. After incorporating the 7-minute morning light ritual daily for just 1 month, both he and his wife noticed a dramatic difference. "I'm finding words again," he reports. "Names, dates, details that used to frustrate me because they were on the tip of my tongue but I couldn't recall them, they're just there now." His neurologist was so impressed with his cognitive improvements that he's now recommending this practice to all his elderly patients. What makes this habit particularly powerful is how it synergizes with your body's natural circadian rhythm. That morning light signal sets off a precise 16-hour timer in your brain that will later trigger proper melatonin release, not just helping you fall asleep more easily but dramatically improving the quality of your deep sleep phases when critical brain detoxification processes occur. For seniors living in northern climates with limited winter sunlight, a medical-grade light therapy lamp, at least 10,000 lux, can serve as an effective substitute. However, natural sunlight contains specific blue light wavelengths that even the best artificial lights can't fully replicate, so whenever natural light is available, it's always the superior option. Habit No. 4. The breakfast mistake that's silently damaging your brain. Is your morning meal actually accelerating your cognitive decline? Shocking new research suggests that the typical, healthy senior breakfast might be doing exactly that. For decades, we've been told that breakfasts like instant oatmeal, whole grain toast with margarine, or low-fat yogurt with granola are ideal choices for aging adults. However, groundbreaking research from the National Institute on Aging's longitudinal study on aging has revealed a disturbing truth: these high-carbohydrate, low-fat breakfasts may be silently damaging seniors' brains over time. Dr. Richard Spencer, who leads the Brain Aging and Metabolism Laboratory at the NIA, explains, "What we've discovered is that the aging brain actually requires specific nutrients during the morning hours to maintain optimal function and prevent accelerated decline. Unfortunately, the typical heart-healthy breakfast most seniors consume is severely lacking in these critical brain nutrients." What the research has uncovered is that seniors who consume a breakfast rich in high-quality proteins and healthy fats within 30 minutes of waking show significantly better cognitive performance, lower rates of brain shrinkage, and better protection against neurodegenerative diseases. The reason is fascinating. Your brain uses the morning hours to synthesize key neurotransmitters that will be used throughout the day. Without the right amino acids and fatty acids available during this critical window, production falters, leading to brain fog, memory issues, and over time, accelerated brain aging. So what should your longevity breakfast look like? The research points to a simple formula: at least 25 grams of protein, at least 12 grams of healthy fats, and no more than 15 grams of carbohydrates, consumed within 30 minutes of waking. Practical examples include 3 eggs with avocado and spinach, Greek yogurt with walnuts, chia seeds and a small handful of berries, a protein smoothie with whey or plant protein, coconut milk, and a tablespoon of almond butter. Barbara, age 79, struggled with worsening memory and concentration for years despite following her doctor's recommendations for a heart-healthy diet. "I was eating my bowl of oatmeal with skim milk and banana every morning, just like I was told," she recalls. After switching to eggs with avocado and vegetables for breakfast, she experienced what she calls a mental awakening. Within 3 weeks, her family noticed she was more engaged in conversations, remembered details better, and had more energy throughout the day. Her neurologist was so impressed with her cognitive improvements that he ordered a full workup. "He told me whatever I was doing, keep doing it, because my cognitive test scores had improved significantly, something he rarely sees in patients my age." The benefits of this breakfast shift go beyond brain health. Seniors who adopt this morning protein approach report more stable energy throughout the day, fewer cravings, better blood sugar control, and even improved muscle maintenance, a critical factor in longevity after 65. If you've been starting your day with cereal, toast, pastries, or even healthy options like instant oatmeal or fruit-heavy smoothies, this simple breakfast shift could be one of the most powerful changes you make for your long-term brain health and longevity. Habit No. 5. The 4-minute morning breathing technique that strengthens your heart. Did you know that how you breathe in the morning could dramatically impact your heart health and potentially add years to your life? This next habit takes just 4 minutes but has been shown to improve cardiovascular function as effectively as some medications, without any side effects. Most seniors don't realize that overnight, while sleeping, their cardiovascular system becomes somewhat stagnant, with reduced circulation and oxygenation. How you restart this system each morning can either strengthen your heart or put unnecessary strain on it. Dr. Jonathan Parker, cardiologist and researcher at the University of California's Heart Institute, explains, we've discovered that specific breathing patterns, when practiced first thing in the morning, can significantly improve heart rate variability, one of the strongest predictors of longevity and resistance to cardiovascular disease. The remarkable part is how quickly we see improvements, even in patients with pre-existing heart conditions. The technique is called 4-7-8 cardiac coherence breathing, and it's stunningly simple. 1. Sit comfortably with your back straight. 2. Inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. 3. Hold your breath for a count of 7. 4. Exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8, making a gentle whooshing sound. 5. Repeat this cycle 4 times without pausing between breaths. This specific pattern activates your vagus nerve, which controls your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode that counteracts stress and inflammation. For seniors, whose stress response systems often become chronically activated, contributing to heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke risk, this morning breathing reset is particularly powerful. Clinical studies measuring the effects of this breathing pattern have found remarkable results: average blood pressure reduction of 10 to 15 points, improved heart rate variability, a key marker of cardiovascular health, and up to 30% reduction in inflammatory markers associated with heart disease, all from just 4 minutes of breathing each morning. Harold, age 74, had been taking 3 different blood pressure medications and still struggled with numbers hovering around 150/90. My doctor was talking about adding a 4th medication, he recalls. After adding this breathing technique to his morning routine for just 3 weeks, his numbers dropped to 127/82, better than they'd been in decades. My doctor was completely baffled. He asked me exactly what I was doing because he wanted to recommend it to other patients. The key to making this habit effective is proper timing. It should be done before breakfast but after your morning hydration. This sequence maximizes the cardiovascular benefits and sets your nervous system into an optimal state for the day ahead. For those with arthritis or mobility issues that make sitting up straight uncomfortable, this technique can also be done lying on your back. The benefits remain the same. The most important elements are the specific breath counts and completing the full 4 minutes. What makes this habit particularly valuable for seniors is that it's accessible to everyone, regardless of physical limitations, requires no equipment, and delivers immediate benefits that compound over time. Many seniors report feeling calmer, thinking more clearly, and having better energy throughout the day, all additional benefits beyond the powerful cardiovascular improvements. Habit No. 6. The morning joint protection ritual that keeps you mobile and independent. This next morning habit directly addresses one of the biggest threats to longevity and quality of life after 65, joint deterioration and loss of mobility. The statistics are sobering: over 49% of adults over 65 suffer from arthritis, and mobility limitations are the #1 reason seniors lose their independence. But here's what most doctors won't tell you: much of this joint deterioration isn't inevitable. It's often the result of a specific morning mistake that accelerates cartilage breakdown and inflammation. Correcting this mistake and replacing it with a simple 3-minute ritual can dramatically change your joint health trajectory. Dr. Rebecca Collins, Director of Geriatric Orthopedics at Northwestern University, explains, most seniors make the critical error of jumping into their day's activities without properly preparing their joints. After hours of inactivity during sleep, synovial fluid, the lubricant that protects your joints, becomes stagnant. Without proper morning mobilization, your cartilage essentially experiences dry friction for the first 30 to 40 minutes you're moving around, accelerating wear and tear and inflammation. The solution is a simple sequence that Dr. Collins and her team have developed specifically for aging joints. This isn't exercise in the traditional sense, it's a gentle mobilization ritual that distributes synovial fluid to protect your cartilage before you start your day's activities. The sequence focuses on your 6 primary weight-bearing joints: ankles, knees, hips, lower back, shoulders, and neck, with specific circular movements for each area. The entire ritual takes just 3 minutes and can be done sitting on the edge of your bed immediately after your morning breathing practice. For each joint, you'll do 10 gentle circles in each direction, no forcing, no pain, just easy movement to distribute that protective fluid. Start with your ankles and work your way up to your neck. The entire sequence should feel pleasant, never painful. Eileen, age 81, had been told she would need knee replacement surgery after years of progressive osteoarthritis. The pain was getting unbearable, especially first thing in the morning, she recalls. After incorporating this joint mobilization ritual every morning for 6 weeks, she experienced what her orthopedist called puzzling improvement in her knee function. My doctor actually asked if I'd been getting injections elsewhere because my inflammation markers had improved so significantly. 2 years later, she's still pain-free and active, all without surgery. The science behind this approach is compelling. Studies tracking seniors who perform this specific morning joint sequence show up to 63% reduction in reported joint pain, 47% improvement in morning stiffness, and, most remarkably, measurable preservation of cartilage thickness as confirmed by imaging studies. Dr. Collins emphasizes an important point. This isn't about increasing strength or flexibility, it's specifically about distributing your body's natural joint lubricant before you put load on those structures. That's why the timing is so crucial. It must be done before your main morning activities, ideally right after waking. For seniors already experiencing significant joint pain, Dr. Collins recommends starting with just 5 gentle circles in each direction and gradually building up to the full 10 over several weeks. Even this modified approach shows significant benefits for joint protection. This simple 3-minute ritual, when practiced consistently each morning, can be the difference between maintaining your mobility and independence well into your 80s and 90s versus becoming progressively limited by painful, deteriorating joints. Habit No. 7. The morning immune system activator hidden in your kitchen. What if I told you that something sitting in your kitchen right now could strengthen your immune system by up to 57% when consumed in a specific way each morning? This next habit is particularly crucial for seniors, as immune function naturally declines with age, leaving you more vulnerable to everything from common infections to serious diseases. Most seniors take vitamins or supplements to support their immune health, but groundbreaking research from the Yale School of Medicine has discovered that certain compounds in common kitchen ingredients, when consumed on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, are far more effective at stimulating immune function than most supplements. Dr. Laura Montgomery, immunologist and aging specialist at Yale, explains, as we age, our innate immune response, the body's first line of defense, becomes significantly less responsive. What we've discovered is that specific plant compounds, when consumed in the right combination and at the right time, can effectively wake up this sleeping immune system and maintain that heightened vigilance throughout the day. The morning immune activator is a simple combination: 1 tablespoon of raw honey, must be unpasteurized, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a small squeeze of lemon juice, mixed into 4 ounces of warm, not hot, water. This specific formula works through multiple pathways. The raw honey contains antimicrobial compounds and supports beneficial gut bacteria. The cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar and has powerful antiviral properties. The turmeric and black pepper combination provides curcumin with enhanced bioavailability for reducing inflammation, and the lemon adds vitamin C directly to your bloodstream. The timing is crucial. This must be consumed after your water with salt and lemon but before any food or other beverages, ideally about 20 minutes after waking up. This precise timing allows these compounds to interact directly with your gut lining, where over 70% of your immune system resides. William, age 77, had been catching everything that went around: colds, flu, bronchitis, often requiring antibiotics multiple times a year. My doctor kept saying it was just age-related immune decline. He shares, after incorporating this morning immune activator, he went 18 months without a single infection. When I did finally catch a cold, it was mild and gone in 2 days instead of 2 weeks. My doctor asked what I was doing differently because my white blood cell counts had improved significantly. Clinical studies tracking seniors who adopted this morning habit showed remarkable results: 57% fewer reported respiratory infections, 29% shorter duration of illnesses when they did occur, and significantly improved markers of immune function on blood tests. For seniors taking medications, it's important to note that this mixture should be consumed at least 30 minutes before any morning medications unless your doctor advises otherwise. The beneficial compounds might alter the absorption rate of certain pharmaceuticals. If you find the taste too strong when starting out, you can begin with just the honey and cinnamon, gradually adding the turmeric and black pepper as your palate adjusts. Even this simplified version offers significant immune benefits, though the complete formula provides the most powerful support. This simple morning ritual, using ingredients most people already have in their kitchen, could be the difference between spending your golden years in good health versus battling constant infections. In our post-pandemic world, strengthening your aging immune system isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Habit No. 8. The mental clarity practice that protects against dementia. Our final morning habit addresses what many seniors fear most: cognitive decline and dementia. Despite billions spent on research, pharmaceutical solutions have largely disappointed. However, a surprisingly simple morning mental practice has shown remarkable promise in protecting aging brains. Neurologists at the Harvard Brain Sciences Initiative have discovered that a specific type of mental engagement, when practiced within the first hour of waking, can significantly enhance cognitive resilience and potentially reduce dementia risk by activating what they call neural reserve pathways. Dr. Simon Nakajima, neurologist and researcher at Harvard's Brain Sciences Initiative, explains, the aging brain follows a use it or lose it principle, but what our research has revealed is that not all mental activities are created equal. Specific types of thinking, when practiced during the brain's peak neuroplasticity window in the morning, seem to build cognitive resilience much more effectively than others. The practice is called reverse memory chaining, and it's deceptively simple. Each morning, you recall yesterday's events in reverse order, starting from the moment before you fell asleep and working backwards to when you woke up. You focus on specific sensory details, what you saw, heard, smelled, tasted, and felt, not just the sequence of events. Begin with just the previous evening and work backwards through your day as your skill improves. The process typically takes 5 to 10 minutes and can be done while still in bed or sitting quietly after your other morning habits. This isn't merely reminiscing or passive recall. The act of reconstructing your day in reverse order requires your brain to form new neural pathways rather than following established memory patterns. It's this creation of alternative pathways that builds what neurologists call cognitive reserve, the brain's ability to compensate for age-related changes or pathology. The results from studies on this practice have been nothing short of remarkable. Seniors who consistently practiced reverse memory chaining for 6 months showed significant improvement in working memory capacity, enhanced ability to learn and retain new information, better attention and focus throughout the day, measurably increased hippocampal volume, a brain region critical for memory, lower levels of beta amyloid accumulation, the protein associated with Alzheimer's. Helen, a 68-year-old former librarian with a family history of Alzheimer's, had noticed worrying changes in her memory and concentration. I would walk into rooms and forget why, lose my train of thought mid-sentence, and struggle to learn new things, she recalls. After practicing reverse memory chaining every morning for 4 months, both she and her family noticed significant improvements. My thinking is clearer, I can follow complex conversations again, and I'm not constantly searching for words. Her neurologist was so impressed with her cognitive test improvements that he's now studying this technique with other patients. What makes this habit particularly valuable is that it's completely free, requires no special equipment, and can be practiced regardless of physical limitations. Even seniors with mild cognitive impairment can start with just recalling the previous hour and gradually extend their practice. For maximum benefit, Dr. Nakajima recommends combining this mental practice with your morning light exposure. Natural light activates specific brain regions that enhance the neuroplasticity effects of this exercise, he explains. Just sitting near a window while doing your reverse memory chaining can potentially double its effectiveness. This simple morning mental habit, when practiced consistently, could be your strongest defense against cognitive decline and dementia, providing protection that even the most expensive medications currently cannot offer. Bringing it all together, your morning longevity routine. We've covered 8 powerful morning habits that research shows can potentially add up to a decade of healthy, vibrant life after age 65. Now let's put them together into a simple, practical routine that takes less than 40 minutes total. Upon waking, 16-minute gentle longevity stretching sequence. Next, 12-ounce room temperature water with salt and lemon. Next, 7 minutes of natural morning light exposure. Next, 4-minute cardiac coherence breathing. Next, 3-minute joint mobilization ritual. Next, morning immune activator drink. Next, longevity breakfast, protein and healthy fats. Finally, 5 to 10 minutes of reverse memory chaining. This entire sequence requires no special equipment, costs virtually nothing, and can be adapted for any mobility level or health condition. Yet the combined impact on your health, longevity, and quality of life can be profound. The key is consistency. These habits work by gradually reprogramming your body's fundamental biological processes, your circadian rhythm, hormone production, immune function, and cellular regeneration pathways. One day won't make a difference, but doing these consistently for even 30 days can create noticeable improvements that your doctor might find difficult to explain. Remember Margaret, the 72-year-old retired teacher who transformed her health? She started with just 4 of these habits and gradually added the others over several months. 2 years later, her biological age, as measured by telomere length and inflammatory markers, tests a full 12 years younger than her chronological age. My doctor keeps using the word remarkable, she shares. At my last checkup, he brought in 2 medical students to meet me because he wanted them to see what's possible when we take responsibility for our morning routines. If implementing all 8 habits at once feels overwhelming, start with just 2 or 3 that address your most pressing health concerns. Even this partial approach can yield significant benefits. Add the others gradually as each becomes a natural part of your morning. The bottom line is this: your morning routine isn't just about how you start your day, It's literally programming your body's aging process. These 8 research-backed habits leverage your body's natural biology to potentially add not just years to your life, but life to your years. If you found this information valuable, please hit the like button right now and comment below which of these habits you'll be starting tomorrow morning. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to receive more life-changing health information for seniors. And please share this video immediately with someone over 65 you care about. It could literally transform their golden years.